Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Liberty means responsibility. That is why most men dread it. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. Better keep yourself clean and bright. You are the window through which you must see the world. A life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing. The happy family is but an earlier heaven. He knows nothing, and he thinks he knows everything. That points clearly to a political career. We must be conventional, Jack, or we are so cruelly, so vilely misunderstood. Even you, who are a man, cannot say what you think without being misunderstood and vilified. Beware of false knowledge. It is more dangerous than ignorance. Animals are my friends, and I don't eat my friends. A government which robs Peter to pay Paul can always depend on the support of Paul. Cannot possibly attend first night, will attend second if there is one. The liar's punishment is not in the least that he is not believed, but that he cannot believe anyone else. I am of the opinion that my life belongs to the community, and as long as I live, it is my privilege to do for it whatever I can. It is a curious sensation, the sort of pain that goes mercifully beyond our powers of feeling. When your heart is broken, your boats are burned, nothing matters anymore. It is the end of happiness and the beginning of peace. Men are wise in proportion not to their experience, but to their capacity for experience. Both optimists and pessimists contribute to society. The optimist invents the airplane, the pessimist the parachute. Democracy is a device that ensures we shall be governed no better than we deserve. I choose not to make a graveyard of my body for the rotting corpses of dead animals. If you want to tell people the truth, make them laugh, otherwise they'll kill you. There are two tragedies in life. One is to lose your heart's desire. The other is to gain it. Yesterday is the past. Tomorrow is the future. Today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. The only service a friend can really render is to keep up your courage by holding up to you a mirror in which you can see a noble image of yourself. Style is a sort of melody that comes into my sentences by itself. If a writer says what he has to say as accurately and effectively as he can, his style will take care of itself. But a lifetime of happiness, no man alive could bear it. It would be hell on earth. Patriotism is your conviction that this country is superior to all other countries because you were born in it. Forgive him, for he believes that the customs of his tribe are the laws of nature. An author who gives a manager or publisher any rights in his work, except those immediately and specifically required for its publication or performance, is for business purposes an imbecile. Hatred is the coward's revenge for being intimidated. If you have an apple and I have an apple, and we exchange these apples, then you and I will still each have one apple. But if you have an idea and I have an idea, and we exchange these ideas, then each of us will have two ideas. A cigarette is a pinch of tobacco rolled in paper fire at one end and a fool at the other. Beware of false knowledge. It is more dangerous than ignorance. People who say it cannot be done should not interrupt those who are doing it. Patriotism is fundamentally a conviction that a particular country is the best in the world because you were born in it. To be in hell is to drift. To be in heaven is to steer. You must not suppose, because I am a man of letters, that I never tried to earn an honest living. My main reason for adopting literature as a profession was that, as the author is never seen by his clients, he need not dress respectably. The play was a great success, but audience was a dismal failure. Success does not consist in never making mistakes, but in never making the same one a second time. Do not waste your time on social questions. What is the matter with the poor is poverty. What is the matter with the rich is uselessness. Life does not cease to be funny when people die any more than it ceases to be serious when people laugh. When a man wants to murder a tiger, he calls it sport. When a tiger wants to murder him, he calls it ferocity. Take care to get what you like, or you will be forced to like what you get. All great truths begin as blasphemies. I have to live for others and not for myself. That's middle-class morality. If you want to tell people the truth, make them laugh. Otherwise, they'll kill you. First love is only a little foolishness and a lot of curiosity. We learn from experience that men never learn anything from experience. Youth is wasted on the young. Cruelty would be delicious if one could only find some sort of cruelty that didn't really hurt. A gentleman is one who puts more into the world than he takes out. There is always danger for those who are afraid. I often quote myself. It adds spice to my conversation. My way of joking is to tell the truth. It's the funniest joke in the world. The fact that a believer is happier than a skeptic is no more to the point than the fact that a drunken man is happier than a sober one. Power does not corrupt men. Fools, however, if they get into a position of power, corrupt power. You see things, and you say, "Why?" But I dream things that never were, and I say, "Why not?" You don't stop laughing when you grow old. You grow old when you stop laughing. After all, the wrong road always leads somewhere. Liquor is the chloroform which enables the poor man to endure the painful operation of living. What is life but a series of inspired follies? The difficulty is to find them to do. Never lose a chance. It doesn't come every day. The problem with communication is the illusion that it has been accomplished. Only in books has mankind known perfect truth, love, and beauty. If there was nothing wrong in the world, there wouldn't be anything for us to do. "2% of the people think, 3% of the people think they think, and 95% of the people would rather die than think." We are made wise not by the recollection of our past, but by the responsibility for our future. You use a glass mirror to see your face. You use works of art to see your soul. The risks of liberty we must let everyone take, but the risks of ignorance and self-helplessness are another matter. Beware of the man who does not return your blow. He neither forgives you nor allows you to forgive yourself. Those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. I have defined the 100% American as 99% an idiot. Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. When a thing is funny, search it carefully for a hidden truth. It is dangerous to be sincere unless you are also stupid. Choose silence of all virtues, for by it you hear other men's imperfections and conceal your own. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. No man ever believes that the Bible means what it says. He is always convinced that it says what he means. There is no love sincerer than the love of food. Confusing monogamy with morality has done more to destroy the conscience of the human race than any other era. As long as I have a want, I have a reason for living. Satisfaction is death. All intellectual labor is inherently humorous. The British and Americans are two people separated by a common language. The man who writes about himself and his own time is the only man who writes about all people and all time. The more I see of the moneyed classes, the more I understand guillotine. If you can't appreciate what you've got, you'd better get what you can appreciate. Life is not meant to be easy, my child, but take courage. It can be delightful. There is no love sincerely than the love of food. He never does a proper thing without giving an improper reason for it. I never resist temptation because I have found that things that are bad for me do not tempt me. You think, because you have a purpose, nature must have one. You might as well expect it to have fingers and toes because you do. Reading made Don Quixote a gentleman. Believing what he read made him mad. While we ourselves are the living graves of murdered beasts, how can we expect any ideal conditions on this earth? Criminals do not die by the hands of the law. They die by the hands of other men. Without good manners, human society would be intolerable and impossible. I'm enclosing 2 tickets to the first night of my new play. Bring a friend, if you have one. I'm an atheist, and I thank God for it. Well, what do they all amount to? These kings and captains and bishops and lawyers and such like. They just leave you in the ditch to bleed to death. And the next thing is, you meet them down there for all the airs they give themselves. A pessimist is a man who thinks everybody is as nasty as himself and hates them for it. In heaven, an angel is no one in particular. Make it a rule never to give a child a book you would not read yourself. I knew if I waited around long enough, something like this would happen. We have no more right to consume happiness without producing it than to consume wealth without producing it. Never wrestle with pigs. You both get dirty, and the pig likes it. The trouble with her is that she lacks the power of conversation, but not the power of speech. There are 2 tragedies in life. One is to lose your heart's desire. The other is to gain it. Imitation is not just the sincerest form of flattery, it's the sincerest form of learning. The liar's punishment is not in the least that he is not believed, but that he cannot believe anyone else. I'm not a teacher, only a fellow traveler of whom you asked the way. I pointed ahead of myself as well as you. Use a glass mirror to see your face. You use works of art to see your soul. Dancing is a perpendicular expression of a horizontal desire. The heart of an Irishman is nothing but his imagination. There are no perfectly honorable men, but every true man has one main point of honor and a few minor ones. You have learnt something. That always feels at first as if you have lost something. Why should we take advice on sex from the Pope? If he knows anything about it, he shouldn't. I sold flowers. I didn't sell myself. Now you've made a lady of me. I'm not fit to sell anything else. Success does not consist in never making mistakes, but in never making the same one a second time. The most tragic thing in the world is a man of genius who is not a man of honor. People are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, make them. Why is it that the people who know how to enjoy themselves never have any money, and the people who have money never know how to enjoy themselves? The only man who behaved sensibly was my tailor. He took my measure anew every time he saw me, whilst all the rest went on with their old measurements and expected them to fit me. Some men see things as they are and say, "Why?" I dream things as they never were and say, "Why not?" You see things, you say, "Why?" But I dream things that never were, and I say, "Why not?" The fact that a believer is happier than a skeptic is no more to the point than the fact that a drunken man is happier than a sober one. The happiness of credulity is a cheap and dangerous quality of happiness, and by no means a necessity of life. The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. The things most people want to know about are usually none of their business. What you are to do without me, I cannot imagine. Happy is the man who can make a living by his hobby. If If any religion had a chance of ruling over England, nay Europe within the next 100 years, it could be Islam. The power of accurate observation is commonly called cynicism by those who have not got it. If you cannot get rid of the family skeleton, you may as well make it dance. Pasteboard pies and paper flowers are being banished from the stage by the growth of that power of accurate observation, which is commonly called cynicism by those who have not got it. A photographer is like a code which produces 1,000,000 eggs in order that one may reach maturity. A long absence of sex turns a person into a neurotic. Without art, the crudeness of reality would make the world unbearable. Chess is a foolish expedient for making idle people believe they are doing something very clever when they are only wasting their time. There are those that look at things the way they are and ask why. I dream of things that never were and ask why not. Old men are dangerous. It doesn't matter to them what is going to happen to the world.